the beginning, the first few minutes.
Yeah. I
1
think there
minute
is a
to
delay.
go. Mhm.
Yeah. GTP is still not live for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I heard a lot of feedback that I mean that the topic itself sounds interesting for everyone, but it's very hard to promote. So there's I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. Maybe it's because courses always associated that you want to sell them. Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, it is. I think the main reason is because there is a lot of hype nowadays around online courses, selling online courses, creating online courses, and people just like once again something about courses.
Yeah. Okay, I think it was a perfect intro actually. So shall we start? I think it's 10 a.m. Saturday. In the Central European time, we meet
For me,
again.
it's 9.
Okay. Yeah, welcome everyone to our 14th podcast / meetup. We meet today with our friend Alosha, Super Alosha. It's even
Yeah,
called on
hello.
YouTube. Yeah, yeah, he's a very good friend of us, and today is a very interesting topic as well, and it touches me personally because I'm in this industry for some time. So a guide on how to design your educational course for students to have a great knowledge journey. This is a working title for that. Yeah, and for me, why it's interesting, because some time ago I started my courses, and I actually before that I passed myself a course how to make courses. So I know what to compare now, and I was also that was already some time ago. So like that would be. I hope I will hear lots of new stuff, but also some refreshing stuff, and. That since the time I started, the industry changed a lot. So I'm very curious actually. I don't know what is gonna be about. Yeah, Alexey, mic is yours. I will share now the screen.
Okay, thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Alex, and today I will talk about how to do nice and cool technical courses. Uh, Not always, but pretty much in most cases, the quality of the course can be assessed by the number of students who have completed it. So I will use this metric, completion rate. So we will talk about how to do courses with high completion rates. A few words about me. I'm the founder of an online school. We have 2-year courses and we have 80% of completion rate. It is quite a big number, especially for such a long courses. You can join me on social networks. I sometimes write some stuff about education, technologies, and such kind of things. So, you want to create a course, but the problem is that today there is an information about almost any topic on the web. Um we are witnessing so-called devaluation of now knowledge because today we have almost any topic that you want you can find it on internet, and if maybe 15 years ago information was valuable by itself, today it is not. It is far away from that. So how do you stand out, and why there are different courses, and how you can make your course to be something valuable and unique for your students. And when I was a kid, I had a math teacher in school, and she was very good in math. But I almost fell asleep on her lessons because it was very boring. I didn't know what she was talking about. How do why do I need that? I didn't realize uh, why do I spend my time listening to some this complex stuff about algebra, math, and such kind of things, and it wasn't interesting for me. And I think many of you can relate to it because in school education is mostly not how can I say that, not student oriented, and they have their own standards, their own way how to deal with things. So, and then we had another teacher, and by somehow math suddenly became interesting to me. We researched the same topics, learned the same information, but the way how it was delivered for us, that was what mattered. Because during the new math lessons, we experienced completely different experience, emotions, and this experience that can make your course unique. What your students feel themselves, and what experience they gain during your course. And in the professional dictionary of education creators, this is called learning experience design. It's, it is a set of different tools, tips, and tricks and techniques that allow you to create to create student experience for them to let them teach, to let them learn your course, and express different emotions, and to let your course to be something more valuable for them, ra- rather than just an information and content. And today I will tell you about the main stages of learning experience design, using the example of how we approach the creation of courses ourselves in our online school. Mm, what is the difference between instructional design and course architect? No, no, no. There is no any difference. The whole thing I am talking about is just instructional design. Yeah, but I tried not to use this word because people who are not in the industry, when you are telling them, oh, I will teach you instructional design, they just what, I don't know what it is. And so we are trying to use something more simple words, more simple terminology. But yeah, in the terms of in the professional terms, today I will cover some topics about instructional design. Okay. Should I read the questions by myself, or should I?
Yeah, up to you, Alexey. Yeah. No worries about questions, I would say. We're gonna ask them in the end or something, or in the middle.
Okay, okay. So I
Yeah.
will just continue.
Mm-hmm.
So the main stages of learning experience design, aka instructional design, uh, on the example of how do we approach this process. The first step, the very first step you should to do, it is defining the course goal. what value will your course bring to to your student. And the main case here is defining it from the student perspective, not from yours. Because when you, for example, you want to create a course for creating websites, and if you define your goal from your perspective, it would sound like I will teach you how to create a website, and it's not a very good definition, because actually nobody uh, studies, nobody conducts the courses for the reason to conduct the course. Every student has his own goal, his own reasons for conducting your course, and for you as author of the course, it is very crucial to understand what exactly students want to achieve from your course. For example, we are our courses, we are designing it keeping in mind that our students want to become self-learners. They want to um, they want to be able to look for look for information on the internet and analyzing it, dealing with it, and using it. Another example is maybe in corporate education. Uh, you are creating a course for your company, and the goal of the course is to help some people become front-end team leaders, maybe. So this is a good definition of the goal of the course. You always should to keep in mind the student perspective, not yours. Okay. The next step, when you come to goal, when you find your goal, you understand why students come to your course and what do they want to take away. The next thing you have to do is to create a final result. By final result, I mean um, something that students can actually make by the end of your course. This is why my speech is titled "How to Create Technical Courses, Not Theoretical Courses." Everything that I will say further belongs to technical courses, not theory. And each technical course have has mm, can has a result, something that student can make practical, approachable result. I don't know, is it clear or not? For example, if you are creating a course that teaches how to create a website, the final result of your course should be a website.
Alexey, actually, may I interrupt you?
Yeah.
So I have a question about the first point. So you said that it's nice to have the perspective of the of students. So how do you usually get it? So you talk to people and ask them what do they want to learn?
Yeah, of course. I didn't drop a lot of the details here because my speech mostly focused on other things. But this step is the first step about student perspective is very important. It is I don't know. It is so important that wrong definition of the course goal can ruin absolutely whole your course, because everything that you do in your course, it all goes from the definition of the goal. So of course, if you pick the wrong goal, the whole thing will just not work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have another question. It might be covered in your future slides. Because we were already comparing theoretical and practical lessons and the way of presenting new material. My question was, what do you think in general of students' collaboration during the course, or maybe during the lesson, if more tactical? Should it be like a must, or it's nice to have? What is your experience with that?
I didn't get it. Technical and theoretical courses, okay,
and the students might collaborate to work on some common goal on the some goal that they want to achieve together.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In this speech, I mostly focus on the course that students conduct themselves, not in groups. But if you if you are able to create a synchronous course that is being held in groups, it is very cool because group interaction, group collaboration makes a very huge impact on engaging of the course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We have another question. What do you think on students' interaction? Oh, so
Yeah.
what is that? Okay. So, what do we? Oh, yeah. Final result. Okay. So, when you are creating, imagining your final result, we strongly recommend to use pop culture and self-expression. What do I mean by pop culture? Mm, Pop culture is such thing that just makes everything better. Okay, so for example, you may give a task that create a website about your dog. Maybe I don't know. It sounds pretty good, but it's not very fascinating. It's not very engaging. Ah, okay. But using pop culture always makes tasks more interesting. For example, and if you combine it with self expression, it just makes everything much better. Because especially if you are doing a course with group collaboration, where where students can talk about their tasks, they can show their work and discuss it with other team. Um, so you combine pop culture and self-expression. For example, you are making a task, a website about this student's favorite movie, and every user can discuss this movie. Of course, it doesn't sound very practical use. It's not. It doesn't sound very. I don't know. Real world. Yes, but it's not your task actually. It's not your task for. Uh, give me. Your task is to create a course that will emotionally capture your student, that will bring some emotions and bring some experience from student. And the easiest way to do it is to use self expression. Each time when a person starts talking about himself, it become very interesting for him. We can witness it by on social media, social networks, and such kind of things. And it is a very simple trick for bringing attention and increasing interest is to use a self expression. In our school, we deal it like we have groups of 10 students, and each student has 1 minute to when they complete this task. They have 1 minute to talk about it in front of other group. And when you talk about I like this movie and I made a site about it and start speaking about it, it just makes better. It just makes the atmosphere in group better. Okay. I hope it doesn't sound too complicated. No? Okay.
No. It's perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually, may I also jump in here? So it's a really cool idea of introducing pop culture. And how do you usually do? You say that you set one goal for all the students, or you say that you can do everything? It just should be your personal thing.
Yeah. The work that they do must reflect their own habits, their own tastes, and
Interest. Yeah.
interests.
Yeah, but it makes it a bit harder then to check it afterwards. Right? So since like every student comes up with something personal and different.
Yeah. It is. It makes the checking more complicated, but it is the price you pay for student engagement at the end. Okay, so we're going next. Okay, so you have your goal, you have your final result. You made some, I don't know, website or neural network or maybe some kind of thing. What next? The next thing you have to do is you split your result into stages, and you deal with stages like they are mini courses, not too big and not too small. For example, if we are talking about websites, bad examples are uh, front end and back end stages. It is bad result because it is very big stage. And another bad example is doc type, block and inline tags, and such kind of things. It is not in opposite. It is very small stage. The stage we call it a model also. Stage or model. You take your final result of the course and breaking it into modules. The steps that you need to do, that you need to perform to achieve your final result. Mhm. The next very important thing is you have to sort your stages from simple to complex. Often you won't do anything because your project, your final project already consists of from simple to complex steps. But there are cases when more simple steps are being held in the end of the course, and the course starts from very complex things. This is why this is when you should to use this step, sorting stages from simple to complex. No matter what, you don't think about how do you will hold it yet. No, the only thing you do is just sorting it from the most simple things to the most complex things. And as a result, uh, your sorted stages will become your course syllabus, your schedule of the course. Are stages, like there is a question, are stages always divided technically, or you prefer to bind them to pop culture projects? Mm, yeah, it is more preferable way to you divide it technically, because you bind your stages to projects on the next steps. On this step you should to only think about technical side of your final project.
Okay,
For
thanks.
example, algorithms, language syntaxes. I don't know, such technical things.
Mm-hmm.
But for the students, it should be from the technical side. So for yourself, when you create a course, you try to make it from simple to complex. But for your students, you want them to implement some sub results, right? So you want them to create a website without the styles or colors.
Yeah. It is. I will talk about it next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So when you have sorted your stages from simple to complex, the next thing you have to do is creating final projects for each stage, and you use absolutely the same approach, like the final result of the whole course. You apply the same logic for each stage. The each stage you have made, you need to finish it by some project, something that students can make themselves, and uh, something completed product, something they can share and say, look what cool stuff I made. Okay. And also you use the same, absolutely same techniques for these projects. For each stage you use pop culture and you use self-expression, but when you sort your stages from simple to complex, it may become you may encounter the things that simple things require knowledge from further stages that students don't know yet. And how do you deal with that? You use a trick we are calling partially completed material. So, for example, on some stage, you want to student to make a web service that communicates with backend, making some requests, getting some data, and etc. So, and students don't know the backend yet. So you are giving them sources, completed sources that you have made, and you are just saying them, just use it like that, that, and that. Don't think about how it is working yet. Don't think about um, the nature of how it is working. You don't need it yet. Just focus on sending and gaining requests. Okay, so partially completed my material is a very important tweak because what it gives you an opportunity to achieve some quick results. It gives you an opportunity to make something real, something practical even from the first lesson. Okay, so you are creating final projects for each stage, and you use the same approach of using pop culture and self-expression, and you can add partially completed material for the cases where you need to where you want to give a task, but they don't know the whole material yet. Okay, so right now, what do you have? You have your course goal, you have a big course project, you have divided it into stages, you have sorted it from simple to complex, and you have created a project for each stage. What to do next? The next thing you do is you are splitting your project. I mean, project of the stage. You split each project into teams. Uh, Teams. What students should to know and what shouldn't. What students should to uh, can be able to do to make this project real. And it is mostly the same process when you are dividing your big course project into smaller ones. But right now you don't think about projects. You are thinking about themes, topics. Oh, I use the wrong word from Russian here. I mean topics. Yeah, you are splitting your project into topics, and the main thing you have to care about on this stage is you should to avoid unnecessary topics because I know it by myself. When you are creating a course, when you are thinking about what the student should to know, you try to give everything because they should to know about this and this and this and of course this and this and this, and in the end you are struggling with dozens of topics, and they become very complex and heavy and mm, uh, very bad. Okay. So each topic that you pick, you should to very carefully think about it, and do the student really need to know about this topic? Why? And why this topic is so crucial and so important? Each topic you should to handpick it and analyze and filter it because actually you can clear in average in by our statistic you can drop out in average a half of your topics, and a student will not see any changes because from their perspective all topics are necessary and all topics need to be learned. Okay, And you can mark these additional topics like oh, guys, by the way, we have this thing can be another option is it can be done like this, and you can teach it by yourself. Here's the links. Okay, don't be over. Mm, don't try to put everything in your course because it is especially important for programming courses because in programming each even the smallest topic can bring you a lot of things that you have to know and you want to teach about it to your students.
Alexey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how do you communicate it to the students? Do you say it out loud that not everything will be in the course, and if you want to know everything, you should do additional learning by yourself, or you don't say it
Oh, yeah,
explicitly?
yeah, yeah. Of course. The very first lesson that you held on your course, it must be the lesson where you are talking about rules of the game,
Mhm.
where you speak what will you learn on this course, and more especially what you will not learn on this course. And this second part, what the student will not learn. Actually, this part is much more important because uh, a lot of cases when a student doesn't like the course, they are based on the fact that reality and expectations because
Mhm.
they were hoping that your course will teach them how to create ultra super mega neural network, and in the reality you are just talking about I don't know, simple comparison things and this kind of things. So yeah, I didn't talk about it because it is another field of expertise. But yeah, you should to speak about what you will not teach in your course on the very first lesson.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so you have topics of your project. The next thing you have to do, and here comes the most Hollywood thing. We always argue about it with other instructional designers. They say that it's wrong, it's a bad technique, but I have a very good argument that we are doing things like that, and it's working for us, and it's working for us very good. So this is the thing I will talk about right now. It is just our case, our implementation of designing a course. You may not agree, and you will be wrong. But this is only our approach. I don't say that it is a very and only the only way how to make things. No, you can make it different, but I will talk about our approach, about how do we do deal with it. So you are you are organizing your topics into sprints. And what do we mean by the word sprint? Sprint is a series of 3 lessons, exactly 3, not 2, not 4, not 5, exactly 3. And first 2 lessons are theoretical. On the first lesson, you conduct theme A. On the second lesson, you conduct theme B. And the third lesson is self-practice for students. You don't do anything as a teacher on the third lesson. The third lesson is 100% self-made by the student. And on the third lesson, they combine, they must, the task for the third lesson is made that way that students must combine themselves to previous topics from the previous lessons. And you approach the third lesson like a mini project, and you use absolutely the same logic that before. You can use partially completed material. You use pop culture, and you use self expression.
I wanted to ask about this third lesson specifically. Do you also prefer having homeworks, or it should be covered in your opinion during this course, like in the spring?
It all depends on you, on how what is more feasible for you. For example, in our case, uh, first two lessons are being held synchronously. I don't know which word to pick.
Yeah, synchronously.
Real time.
Sounds.
They are
Yeah.
being held on live with teacher, and the third lesson is being held asynchronously. So
Mm-hmm,
student can make this third lesson when they want to. But
mm-hmm.
there is a deadline by the beginning of the first lesson
Of the
of the
next
next lesson,
module. Now,
yeah,
okay. Mhm,
of the next sprints.
mhm. Interesting. I like
Yeah,
Spring's terminology here. It's like bringing agile into the
yeah,
into
yeah.
education.
It's my coding background. We use actually we use a lot of coding terminology in this, and I will talk about it later.
Yeah, synchronously,
So
synchronously callbacks, promises. Yeah, sorry, I
yeah,
completely.
yeah. The result of the third lesson is a mini project too, where student can uh, tell something about himself, his interests, his things, and you also can use a partially completed material for that, and pop culture, of course. Okay, so now you have the result of the course. You have stages. Each stage has a project. Each stage has a list of topics, and each stage is split into sprints. Okay, and by the in ideal situation, each topic is one sprint. But maybe you can combine it and use your topics for the first and second lesson. It depends on you. How do you approach the how do you combine sprints and top topics? It depends on how big your course is, how long do you want to conduct it, and a lot of the details. But the main principle is the same. You are using sprints by three lessons: theory, and self-practice. Okay. The next thing you do is actually creating lessons. So each sprint consists of three lessons, and you start designing each lesson. And oh, I have a question. Have you not noticed any best practices on course duration? No, because it absolutely depends on the goal. What do you want to achieve? For example, we want to teach students for self-learning, and it is a very, very, very big task. So we are holding our courses along 2 years, and you absolutely in the same moment you can have a course that just teaches something small, and your course is consists of only maybe two sprints, 6 or 8 lessons, and it's okay too. There is no there is no any universal rule of course duration. It absolutely depends on the goal of the course. Okay, we're going back, creating lessons. And when we first started creating lessons, we were experimenting with forms of lessons. It was absolutely a hell, because we thought that lesson can be conducted in infinite ways, and our goal is to find the golden rule, that golden rule of perfect lesson. And right now, I think that maybe, yeah, we maybe we it can be said that we have found that golden formula, and this is its formula. The very first thing you do on the lesson is you demonstrate the result of the lesson. Why you have to do that? Because you want to. It gave it gives a student an impulse of motivation for the lesson. You show them some very cool thing, that and you are telling them you will do this thing by the end of the hour, and they just, whoa, very nice, what an interesting thing. And you raise their attention, and you raise their motivation for this lesson. The next thing you do is you are doing theory and practice, and this is a moment where you are teaching something, when you are giving new information, and when where you uh, doing your job as a teacher. You are speaking, you are giving some new terms, you are giving some new stuff and such kind of thing. But this part of the lesson takes less time from the lesson than the next step. The next step is self practice by analogy. So for example, in HTML, you are learning HTML text, and you are learning maybe input and EMG text. You are talking about attributes, you are talking about text, you are talking about inline and block text, and the for the rest part of the lesson, you are giving a task that students should self-learn about, I don't know, tag, oh, some other tag, maybe select, maybe I don't know, block word, such kind of thing. But when you are learning about EMG tag. What do? You are showing your screen, and on your screen you are typing in the Google EMG HTML tag, and you are pronouncing every step that you are doing for the students, and you are clicking the links on the Google. You are reading the articles, and you are pronouncing your thoughts. Oh, it is said that IMG is an inline tag. I don't know what is inline tag. So you are typing inline HTML tag, and then your goal here is to show the student an pipeline and sequence of steps they should to reproduce by themselves on the third stage where they do self practice. This is why I wrote here by analogy. They don't need to. They shouldn't do something that you didn't do by yourself in the second session. The whole thing that they should to do on the third session is repeating your steps step by step, but in some slightly different conditions. And this third part, is the most is much more important than second, because practical courses, especially tech courses, they are not being learned by theory. You can listen hours of theory about neural networks, maybe, or such kind of thing, but you will not be able to do anything until you start to doing it by your hands. So this third part of the lesson is very important. Is much more important than the second. And by the end of the lesson, you are giving them a spoiler of the next lesson. Why? Because spoiler is you can just show the result of the next lesson in the end. And why you should to do that? It's to keep keep students' engagement, keep their motivation high, and you should and this spoiler should capture their attention. Oh wow, I wanna do that thing. It is very interesting, and I'm relating to it. Okay. So, and you use, of course, you use absolutely the same techniques even for the lesson level. Okay, you use partially completed material, you use pop culture, and you use self-expression. For example, when you are learning JavaScript, when you are starting to learn JavaScript, you can make the task for the third section, or maybe even for the second, where you have your functions already written in the code, and student doesn't know what is the functions and how do they work, and you say that you don't need to understand it actually yet. Just the only thing you should to know is that this function does this thing, and this function does this thing. Combine it in a proper way to achieve a result of the task. Is it clear what I mean by saying partially completed material?
I think to me it is. Maybe, or maybe I understand it on my own a bit. But just yeah, I don't know. I think was very important to me that you shouldn't ask students to do something that you hadn't showed them before in the class.
Yeah.
But maybe for some students it will be interesting. But as you said, you can put it to additional materials, and they can do it on their own. free time. Yeah.
Because the stats say us that only 10, in a very rare cases, 20% of the group they want to learn something by themselves. They want to learn more that is not out of the border of your course. So you should keep in mind that 18% of your students will not be very motivated, will not be very open-minded, and it is your task to design such experience that will teach them how to step out of the borders and how to learn something by themselves.
Yeah.
I just had a thought. So for the that is for I think these best practices that you presented. They are applied first for live courses when you're doing it. Synchronously with the students. But can it be also applied to like offline courses like
Yeah. We were started as an online courses, online school, and we for the long time we thought that online is one thing and offline is absolutely another thing, and we didn't jump into that territory, and in the past year we started creating offline courses, and by surprise uh, we found that absolutely same techniques, absolutely same tips and tricks, they are working exactly on the offline courses.
Right.
Okay, so we are coming to the end. The last step you have to do when you have created your lessons, lesson plans, and I repeat that your lesson is just consists of 4 stages: demonstration of the result, practice with teacher, self practice, and spoiler of the next lesson. But the main devil here is how exactly do you do your practice with teacher, and how exactly do you do your self practice. And here is what we understand by what student activity. And it is a very huge topic by itself. So I won't cover it in the whole thing, but dropping only 3 tips. These are the 3 most popular tips that we use in our courses: quick result, analogy, and teaching from pain. We call it refactoring also. What do we mean by quick result? Quick result is a thing that it's not um, it's not 100% a tip. It is more like a concept. It is more like things that you should keep 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 in mind. Uh, it states that student has to achieve quick results very quickly. You should design your lessons in such a way that each lesson has something very small but practical and maybe applicable result. You should to avoid situations where you are teaching something for 5 or 6 lessons and the student just doesn't get why do I need that, and how do I use that, and how it helps me to do my, I don't know, job or maybe task, such kind of thing. each lesson should absolutely clearly and perfectly deliver the student knowledge about what was the point of the lesson, what is what are key takeaways from the lesson, and why this lesson was necessary, and which knowledge do I take from it. Okay, this is what we mean by saying quick result. The second step is analogy. Analogy is, as I mentioned before, is where you do something by yourself, and then students just repeat your steps, but they are adding some details by themselves. And the third tip, our tip, teaching from pain or refactoring, is the most used tip. It is a tip that we use most because in tech courses, when you are saying that you need to know this topic because it is blah 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 blah, the student just doesn't get it. They don't understand why. They don't understand the importance of this topic. But when you model artificially, when you artificially model the situation where students face the problem that you have created, and they spend, and you give them time to struggle with it, and mm, you are creating a problem situation and make the students to face it, and then after that you are introducing a topic as a solution for this thing. For example, when you are teaching HTML, CSS classes, you don't start to from, hey guys, here is the CSS classes. They do this, this, and this. No, it's not working. They won't understand it, and they will not get it. But when you are saying them, okay, guys, let's imagine that you are working in the studio, and your manager came to you and told you to make this 20 beautiful gifts, and you are telling them to style them, but they are styling it by inline tag style, and then you are telling that, oh, on the next day your manager came to you and told that you all of the divs must now have another dimensions, another styles, and you are watching them just hand by hand changing styles. Some students, of course, may use auto completion and things, such kind of things, but uh, the goal here is to let the students face the problem by on the real example from the real world, on the practice, and then you're introducing a topic, and in that case all of the students understand the importance of this topic. They understand how it helps, and why even they should learn and know about it. So this is about student activity, and yeah, mm, there are a lot of other things that you can use in designing student activity, but I won't cover it because it is a very huge list. You can just Google instructional design tips and tricks, learning experience design tips and tricks, and there will be a lot of ready to use toolboxes, tips, tricks, and other things. Whew. So, summary. The steps you should to do if you want to create a course that brings some uh, nice and engaging learning experience for the student. I'm sharing this presentation to you. You can check the link in the description. So this presentation will be open, and you can in any more moment back here and check it. Oh yeah, in the last step, development of the course. I won't cover it because it is another very huge topic. But you should start thinking about how exactly your course will look like only after you have made your course syllabus, because you at the very beginning of your work you can think that, oh, I will make a video course, I will host it on YouTube and such kind of things. But then you are start to designing your syllabus, and you understand that, oh no, I want to online course, and I which platform should I use, and such kind of thing. The only thing that oh, so you can pick. There are a lot of different formats of the course. It can be recorded videos. They can be hosted on YouTube, on Instagram, or even you can find some learning management system like Teachable. I don't know. But we found that for the tech courses, the very good choice is interactive long reads in texts, because video lessons are mostly fits for some theoretical courses where teacher speaks a lot of information, and he demonstrates some kind of things, and that kind of thing. But in technical courses, you should to be able to press Ctrl F and find something very quickly. Uh, you should be able to navigate very quickly on the lesson, and you can do it on the video. But if you are doing an interactive on grid, it is very easy. So that's all. We can, if you have any questions, you can join. You can drop me some friend requests, and I can answer some questions. So maybe you can ask it right now. I
Yeah.
will answer it.
Thanks, Alexey. It was indeed a nice journey into interactive interaction design. Sorry, it's a new
Yeah.
word for
And
me.
one more thing, I gladly apologize for my English, because I don't have very often practice of it, and so it was very nice experience for me also to practice my English. It turns out it's not very good.
Oh,
So.
it's awesome, awesome. Yeah, I have here one question regarding specific platforms. You mentioned that yeah, you can just Google them, and but would you recommend some, maybe one or two specific tools or specific platforms or communities? Yeah, any links that you suggest?
No, because as a course, it is query relies on your goal, on the details of exactly what kind of course do you want to make, what is your audience. There are a lot of tons of details that matter that just brings absolutely different results. So the only thing you have to do is just googling it, searching it, analyzing it, reading reviews, and just picking what fits you most.
Okay, perfect. One maybe just a final one from my side. Do you think these practices also can be applied to like short form courses, like even one lesson, one small workshop, this kind of yeah, this kind. It's not course, right? It's just one event or one workshop. Can they be applied still?
Yeah. We are having uh, yeah, it may be called like workshops, 2 hour sessions. We help to create it for our clients. Uh, we are making courses for companies as developers, and a lot of our clients they don't have even 2 or 3 lessons. They have only one workshop. It is mostly like labor security on the workplace, some kind of things, and it is just 1 to 2 hour workshop. But we apply absolutely same principles on it, and they are working.
Okay. Well, perfect timing. Thanks a lot for this meetup. I think I can say a few words about the next one. Yeah, and that's really just a few words. Just follow us, and we're gonna announce it
Spoiler of
in
the next.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly, and that was part of our English teaching course. Thanks, Alexey, for joining us. Yeah, and one small thing, we're trying to bring something new to our interaction with the audience. So I'm gonna send a link to our Telegram group. We're gonna do a small retro there. If you want to join and drop a small question directly to Alexey, that would be awesome. Yeah, so here we are. Everyone have a pleasant journey with the courses, with your own courses, and design more lessons. Bring other students, contact us, contact Alexey, and have a great weekend, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. It was
Have a
very
good
interesting.
one.
Thanks, Alexey.
Bye bye.
Bye.